everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Georgia. Today I thought I would do the 24-hour readathon thing. I've been wanting to do it for ages and I've got a lot of books on my TBR that I really want to get to and just sort of like binge read. So I figured this way we're doing a bit of like a TBR takedown. We're going to read a good chunk of books off my TBR. So yeah, we've got a new background, which I'm obsessed with. I love my new book layout. If you've not seen the video of me changing all my book layout around, then do be sure to check that out. I will link it, one of these. TBR takedown, 24-hour reading challenge. I'm going to do mine split over 2 days. I have already made a start. I woke up this morning, just really fancied reading in bed, so I just started reading one of the books. And I am going to actually stick to romance books, I think. I'm just going to do strictly romance, no fantasy, just romance. It's currently 12:15, so I've done an hour and 51 minutes this morning. So I am going to time it, try and do the full 24 hours. Obviously I did the 2 hours, I stopped this morning, I've tidied up a bit, I went and did some shopping, things like that, and now I've come home, it's 12:15 now, and I plan on just reading pretty much for the rest of today. As you see in the clips at the beginning, I have started my first book, so I did start Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This was on my TBR for this month anyway, so I figured this would be a good place to start. I'm about a third of the way through, so I'm on page 110, chapter 10, and so far I'm really enjoying this book. It's everything I wanted it to be. It's a cute little country romance. So it follows our main character Emmy and a family friend called Luke. It's like a brother's best friend, and so far I'm loving it. So she's like a horse racer, and she's had an accident and has basically stopped riding, moved back home, broken up with her boyfriend, just come back, not really told anybody. Obviously everyone's a bit worried about her. She's just shown up back at home out of the blue. So it follows her story, and Luke's being super supportive. He's always been that sort of ass that she doesn't really like. It's a brother's mate, and he's just always sort of around, and she's never really clicked with him very well. But since moving back, he's been very supportive, and he's helping her get back on the horse and all that kind of thing. So far I'm really loving where we're at. We've had a few moments where we've like nearly kissed, but we haven't quite got there yet. So yeah, this is the first book I'm planning on finishing. I am hoping to finish at least 3 books doing this. I don't know what I'm going to pick up after this. I do kind of want to just see how I feel, or what I might do is put a couple of options up on Instagram and have my followers on Instagram help me choose my next sort of couple of reads. But I am definitely hoping to just stick to strictly romances. I'm going to go get comfy on the sofa and let's see how we get on with the rest of Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. Emmy has a best friend called Teddy. Now, Teddy is very quickly becoming one of my favourite people. Like, she very much reminds me of Willa. For those of you that have read Flawless by Elsie Silver, she's very much like a Willa. She's just like that super protective best friend. She's literally just said to him, and this is why I was smirking at because it did make me giggle. She's like, if you hurt my best friend, I'll cut your dick off and feed it to you. And I'm just like, yes, Teddy, you protect your friend, you do that. But yeah, I have such love for Teddy. Teddy's so funny and she probably makes me giggle. I love her character so far. I'm gonna sit here and read, and I will only update you with like big moment updates from now on. But yeah, let's go. It's freezing in my house, so we've taken to the jumper. Anyone else just getting the impression that it's not actually June and we're all being lied to? Just putting that one out there. Right, I am on chapter 14 of Done and Dusted, and honestly I'm absolutely loving it so far. I love like the dynamic between the two characters. Like, I love their banter. Our two main characters have just had like a really lovely day. He's taken her on a little road trip. They've gone up to this really lovely like waterfall and things, and they're just having a little swim. It's just all this tension. Like, you can tell they both want it, and you can kind of tell that they both know the other kind of wants it, but they're just like scared to make that move. And we have just had our first little scene. They have now kissed, and things have got intense when the brother, or the best friend, has just called and interrupted what was a very intense little sesh. I've got a feeling like the spice in this book is going to be so good. It's like, it's not even happened yet, but just the build up in that was so intense. Like, it was so good. The spice is just written so well. So I am definitely looking forward to actually reading the full proper spicy scene, because I can just tell it's going to be so good. I love the dual POV as well, so we're getting both Emmy's and Luke's perspective on everything, which I love. I love a dual POV. So I just wanted to check back in with you guys. I'm on chapter 19 now. Just quickly wanted to sort of jump back a few chapters though. There's a lot of talk in this book about sort of like mental health and like ADHD and things like that, which I really like. So don't get me wrong, I love a cute fluffy romance, but I also really like when there's those sort of moments of, or those topics of sort of real life in a book. Giving you an update on what's actually going on. There's been like a big family meal to discuss the development of the ranch and what's going on with the ranch moving forward. At this big family meal, obviously they don't want her brothers to know that they are sort of seeing each other and that they like each other. So all through the meal they're like eyeing each other up but trying to be subtle about it, and her friend Teddy keeps dropping hints and things like that and stressing them both out, which is quite funny. Everyone at the meal leaves, so everyone's going home, and Emmy and Luke are sort of the last ones to go. So her dad's like, Luke, can you just walk her home? So he's like, yeah, no probs. Walks her home, and then they have like a little kiss at the door, and then they kind of both decide that they're going to be good and they're just going to like go to bed, and he's going to go home. And, like, goes to leave, is walking away, and they both kind of have a moment of like, what am I waiting for? Why am I doing this? It all kind of happens from there, which was beautifully written. The only thing I have against the spice in this book is the use of the C word. I hate it, but apart from that, it is so good. It's spicy. It is written so nicely. I just love a spicy cowboy book. In terms of like timings and what we're on currently 4:07. So I don't think I'm doing bad. Let's get into reading. So I have finally finished Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. Now I thoroughly enjoyed this book. So I think last time I updated you was at Teddy's party, and Teddy's party has an amazing spicy scene in it. I enjoyed it so much. From there was her race and things like that she's been training for with Luke, and that goes really well. And then after that they basically end up kissing in front of family, so you can imagine that's how all the brothers have found out rather than it being a conversation. It has just been literally Emmy and Luke kissing at the thing. So all this happiness, all this like she's won the race and things, but then it's all kind of overshadowed when Gus doesn't take too lightly to witnessing Luke and Emmy together. So the rest of the book is just kind of them like navigating that, which I still really enjoyed. I overall just really enjoyed this. It was spicy, it was fun. I don't feel like I've been reading it for 5.5 hours straight today. Like at no point did I feel bored or confused or lost. It was really easy writing, and I can't wait to read more by Lila Sage, to be honest. As it stands right now, this is a 4-star read for me. I did really enjoy it. So I then took to Instagram for my next reads. The first poll I put up on Instagram was between Happy Place by Emily Henry and Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and Yours Truly has actually come out on top. So I guess our next read is going to be Yours Truly. I've not actually read anything by Abby Jimenez yet, so I am definitely looking forward to giving this author a go. I've heard a lot of really good things about her books, and I've seen quite a few YouTubers that I watch regularly rating this book 5-star, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting into this. I think it's like 2 doctors, a divorce is just going through, brother's ill, it's a promotion she really wants, and then there's this new doctor, this guy who, by her opinion, I think is a bit of an arse. I think this book has like cute little letters and things like that, which I really like. I'm about 1/4 of the way through my 24-hour challenge, so let's see if we can get at least 2 more books done in this time. Book 2 of my reading challenge, Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Let's go. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's the first time I've seen like an anxious male main character. So we've got Brianna and Jacob, they're both doctors, working at the same hospital and basically going for the same job. So Brianna seems quite like headstrong and that sort of thing, whereas a main male character, Jacob, seems like so he's already nearly had a panic attack. He's like a very anxious character, which I've never seen from the male perspective in a book. I'm absolutely like loving that perspective. I think it's going to be interesting going forward seeing how that's taken from Brianna, because they've already sort of talked about his ex not really understanding his anxiety and things, because his ex is actually marrying his little brother, which I think is a bit odd, but there you go, that's just my opinion. So far there's been a bit of a run-in. They're not really on the same page, but I think that's more Brianna's side than his. He's just very anxious. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how we get on with this going forward, so I'm going to get back to reading and then we'll have a catch up again when more develops. I'm just on chapter 10 of Yours Truly. I'm really enjoying it so far. The letters have started. I'm vibing. I'm loving it. So he's written her a letter just to kind of explain the things he said, because he said something about her brother that didn't go down very well, but he didn't mean it that way. It's just his anxiety got him more confused and flustered and things. It basically talks through all the interactions they've had so far that haven't gone very well. She's then responded to the letter, and now they're sort of going backwards and forwards on like post-it notes and things like that. It is now 7:15. I'm about 8 hours in. I have kind of been like struggling with the concentration side of things, so yeah, just over 8 hours. So I'm gonna pause my stopwatch and I'm gonna go and make some food. I feel like some food and a bit of a break will do me good. As you can probably tell by the lighting, it is quite a bit later. I've had some tea, I've done a bit more reading. I'm on chapter 12, which is one of Jacob's chapters. And he's just talking about like his anxieties and stuff, and like I can just relate to his character so much, and it is really nice to see like that, you know, this is like real life for some people. It is definitely real life for me, and like I can just relate to his character so much. I am really enjoying it so far. I'm struggling to read it, but I think that's just because I'm getting tired now. Like I have been reading for like 8 hours today, which is a lot for my little brain. 9 hours. I'm on 9 hours and 5 minutes. I'm going to keep reading and I will update you probably about halfway. So we're going to deal with the naff lighting. It's literally 11 o'clock at night. I stopped reading for ages, got distracted by my phone, and then was on the phone to Molly for an hour. I'm on chapter 18. We've just got to a sort of fake dating situation. So he needs a date to a wedding. She owes him a favour. Her brother is really ill, needs a kidney, and it turns out he's a perfect match. So her brother is getting married to his ex, and he needs a girlfriend to the wedding, like a +1 to the wedding. So he has not asked her, she has agreed. So the final line that I've just read is, Jacob, I'm going to be the best girlfriend you never had. So it's the start of the fake dating situation. So yeah, I have not actually read any fake dating books, I don't think. I don't think I've ever really read that trope, so I don't know how I feel about it, how I sit with it, but we're about to find out. I'm still really enjoying this book so far. It's just taking me a while to read because my concentration just isn't there anymore. Super excited to get further into this story, so I'm gonna crack on with reading some more. So it's day 2 of my little reading challenge, and if I'm being completely realistic, I don't think I'll get another 12 hours done today. It's already just not gone to plan at all this morning, but I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna hopefully finish this book today and start another one. So I'm still reading Yours Truly. We're just about to get to the event with his ex-girlfriend and his brother, so I think it's like the rehearsal dinner maybe, or the engagement party, one of them, can't remember off the top of my head to be honest. So we're just about to get to the nitty-gritty of all that sort of stuff. I'm going to crack on with reading. I'm going to hopefully still get like maybe 9 or 10 hours done today, and then I'll just have to finish this off after work tomorrow, which isn't ideal, but like, there's nothing I could have done about it. It just hasn't quite worked out, but I definitely know how I'll do this differently next time. I'll give you an update when something interesting happens. So they've just been to the first family event, and it for the most part went really well. Like Amy was giving them a bit of grief. Brianna sort of bit straight back and put like a lid on it sort of thing, and then it kind of got a bit easy from there. He's had like an interaction with Amy that Brianna's overheard some of but not properly, so then there's been that awkward like upset about it all, so they've kind of driven home in silence. She's kind of like got out of the car, gone straight in, not really spoke to him, just said night and gone, and then he's like pacing on the porch, so her brother's like, why's your boyfriend on the porch? Oh, what's he doing? Jacob finally gets the courage to ask her on an actual date, and she says no, and it's like my heart breaks for him. But she is under the impression that he's still not over Amy, that argument has kind of put him in a position where he just wants to move on, but not in, it's more of a distraction than actually wanting to sort of be with her. So she said no, they've had that awkward interaction, he's left, she's packed her bags and gone to her friends. And then the next morning he's rung her like, where are you? I'm coming. So he's now going over to Alexis' house, which is a massive deal. I'm gonna get back to reading. I think it's gonna get kind of juicy from here on. So I am on chapter 33. There's just been some really cute and funny moments in the book so far. He's gone down to where Alexis lives and they've spent some time there. They've gone out for some food with Alexis and Daniel. Gone back to the house. She's gone up to his room just because he's got one of her jackets, and while they're in there the door like slams shut and they can't get it open, so they basically end up having to spend the night in Jacob's room, and they do make a comment. She rings her friend, and they've made jokes before about like her life being like a romance novel at the minute, and she did say, I think you've just made it to the one bed scene, which I thought was quite funny because I mean it's a romance novel, so that's exactly where we're at, but it was quite funny. And there's just loads of really cute and intimate moments, but then he has some whiskey in his bag that he was going to give as a gift, but then decided against it, so they've been drinking this whiskey, and she has actually said that she loves him, but he's like, she's just drunk. They're getting there, and I'm really excited for it because they're just so sweet, they're so cute together, and she just understands him and what he needs for his mental health, and they're just so cute, and they need to just have a conversation like grown-ups. It is now 11:30, so I am going to have to go and stop reading for a bit, and then we'll see what time I get home, and then we'll try and smash out some more reading. But just to give you an idea of how I'm getting on time-wise, I'm on 14 hours and 20 minutes. It is now 4 o'clock and I've literally just got home, so there is physically no way I'm going to do 10 hours of reading today now, which is really annoying because I really wanted to get this done within the 24-hour period, well, within the 2 days. For now, I'm just going to sit here, I'm going to finish this book, I'm going to start another one. But yeah, 4 o'clock, still got 10 hours to go. So I'm going to start the timer again now, I'm going to read until I finish this book, and then we'll come back and update you and pick the next book. I have literally just finished this book and it is so bloody good. Brianna basically bumps into an old friend. They like catching up and stuff, and then somebody goes and tells Jacob that she's like flirting and she's giving this other guy a number, and then like she's texting him and they're just catching up, and he like panics and gets a bit jealous, and obviously like they're both still like it's not real. But then at the bachelorette parties, like his mum's preparing to go, the girls go one way, the guys go the other sort of thing. Amy announces that her and his brother are pregnant, and that's kind of like his final straw, and he panics and he leaves, and like obviously Brianna follows him, and they end up doing the deed, finally, literally like within the last 100 pages of the book. And that's kind of like a bit of a tipping point for Brianna after that. She's like, okay, we've crossed that line now, we can't go back. And it all kind of spirals from there. But they sort of work through it, and basically he then goes down for the surgery for the kidney transplant, so to, you know, donate his kidney to her brother. And before he goes down, he's like, look, I want to give you this little present, and he gives her his journal. She basically says that she needs to see into his soul to be able to trust him, so this is the best way you can think to do that. So she reads his journal, knows exactly where they sit, and it's just so cute. And I'm not explaining it very well, but go and read this book. It is so good. I am rating this book 5 stars. Now, I have never rated just a standard romance 5 stars, but yeah, this book is so good. Like, it got me in the feels. It's so sweet. It is so bloody sweet. I will definitely be reading more by Abby Jimenez now that I have read this one, because this is the first of hers that I have read. But I love her writing style. It's super easy to read. Dual POV, which I love. Abby Jimenez writes such good banter, and like just listening to the characters sort of bounce off of each other, and like how they communicate and things. It's so good. 5 star. We've had a 5 star. But I did take to Instagram for the poll. So I put Love Wager and Too Hot to Handle against each other. So Love Wager by Lynn Painter and Too Hot to Handle by Tessa Bailey. And the Love Wager has come out on top. So I guess we read that next. Again, I've heard really good things about this book. So we've got Hallie and Jack. When she logs onto the app to find new love, she matches with none other than Jack, the guy the wrong kind of sparks had flown with just weeks earlier. So they basically, by the sounds of it, agree to be like each other's wingman, and then they put a wager on who will find romance first. But when they agree to be each other's first dates for a wedding, all bets are off, because as they pretend to be a couple, they struggle to remember why dating for real was a bad idea to begin with. So yeah, it's another fake dating for a wedding. So I'm on 16 hours and 54 minutes. So that last book did take me a very long time to read, but that's just because last night was a struggle. Like, I could not concentrate. But yeah, so hopefully I will definitely get this one finished in the next, how many hours is that? I've got 8 hours. Oh my god, I've still got 8 hours. Wow. So far, I'm halfway through chapter 4, and there's been a one-night stand between Jack and Hallie. at a wedding. It's like a week later. They've kind of matched on a dating app. They had like a bit of conversation and a catch up and was like teasing each other and having some banter, and that was that. She's going on a date tonight with a guy called Kyle, but Jack has just messaged her out of the blue and they're just sort of having another catch up. So I really like the banter between Jack and Hallie. The only thing I'm not liking about this book is it is in third person. I much prefer a first person perspective. So far I am really enjoying it. It's nice and easy to read, like easy to keep up with. I'm on 18 hours at the moment, so I've still got a long while to go. I'm going to carry on reading for now and see how we go. It is now Monday, which I am not happy about. I really want to get this done in 2 sittings over the weekend. I'm on 21 hours and 19 minutes. So I have done some more reading. I am just over halfway through The Love Wager now. I'm enjoying it. It's an easy read. It's one of those that you don't really have to think about or concentrate too hard on. You can just sort of be in with the characters and just like, you can just read it and enjoy it. And I am really enjoying it so far. So I last updated you at like chapter 4 and I'm now on chapter 19, so we've got quite a bit to catch up on. They went speed dating and decided neither of them were interested. They had like 3 or 4 people each, and then was like, yeah, let's just go. They went to like a taco hut across the road. They had their tacos, had a really good time, both went home. And now they've kind of decided that they'll go on, like they'll plan dates at the same time so that if they need to get out of jail free card, they can like make each other's excuses and go. They've been on quite a few dates. They've used their excuse. They've both left and they've gone to go get tacos after. So they've been created a really nice like friendship and things. So Hallie went on a date with a guy called Alex. They really hit it off. Jack has sort of developed feelings for Hallie and kind of acknowledged the fact that he does actually really like her. So he basically sabotages their relationship because they got quite serious, and she asked Alex if he'd go to the brother's wedding and everything, and Jack got a bit jealous and then just decided that was it. He had to sabotage it. He had to get in the way. He sabotages the date. They break up. Where I'm at right now is they're going to the wedding together in a fake relationship. They're just really sort of teasing each other and winding each other up and both falling in love without really wanting to admit it to the other. So I have just over 2.5 hours. I do think I'll finish this book in this time, and then I'm going to have that really awkward amount of time left where I probably won't start anything else. But I'm just going to jump straight in. I'm going to do some more reading and get this book finished tonight. So it's now 20 to 10 and I'm on 23 hours and 22 minutes, and honestly I'm going to call it a day. So I have just finished The Love Wager by Lynn Painter, and honestly I really enjoyed this book. Like when I first started it I was a bit reluctant. I was a bit like, yeah, it's a bit boring, seems a bit like, I don't know, a bit more YA, and I was just a bit meh. But getting towards the end of this book, I have enjoyed it so much. It was such an easy read. It doesn't take much concentration, the writing's really easy. And all in all, I just really enjoyed the story. It's a fake dating, so we all know what happens. They fake date, they fall in love. But how this book sort of wrapped up was really sweet. Like the ending got a bit sad. They kind of got home from the weekend away and was a bit like, well, what do we do from here? So it was all a bit sad, and they kind of split up and they didn't speak for a little bit. She found out what he'd done with Alex, and it was all just a little bit sad, but they have they've made up, they've confessed their feelings, and they've sort of, well, it's them together now. The epilogue is really cute as well. It kind of really nicely wraps up their story. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I will definitely be reading more by this author again. I've read 3 new authors within this reading challenge, and honestly it's given me 3 authors that I really want to read more of. But like I said a bit earlier on, the ratings for these might change after I've had sort of time to sit with them and think about it, but I do think this book is sitting around a 4-star for me. Like I said, it was a bit slow at the beginning and I didn't know how I felt about it, but then it very quickly kind of got into a bit of a groove with it and started to really enjoy it. I have read 2 fake dating books back to back, which I feel was a bit of a bad move on my part. I really enjoyed it, and it was definitely a 4-star by the end, and I didn't again feel like I was struggling to read this book. I just sort of sat and got lost in the world and lost in the characters. I really like Jack, I really like Hallie. I love their banter, I love the writing style, and I said the same about Abby Jimenez, but I love like the banter that she creates between the characters, and I just think their personalities really bounce off each other, and like, yeah, it's just really sweet, and I love it, and I love like the story. It's just a really good book. So to give you a sort of wrap up, these are the 3 books I've read. I will put my page count on screen, maybe down here. I'm quite proud of the fact that I've managed to read 3 books in 24 hours because I'm not a quick reader. Like, this is probably the most I've ever read. So just to give you a bit of an overview, I read Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. And I have loved all of these books. I've had a 4-star, a 5-star and a 4-star. Now this has really reignited my love for just like romance books, because I read so much fantasy romance and fantasy, and that's all this side. This has given me more motivation to pick up a romance more often. I have really enjoyed this challenge, to be fair. There is a lot of things I will do differently in future. I do want to do some more of these, maybe doing a 24-hour challenge for each genre that I read a lot of, so basically just thriller, romance and fantasy. But I'd definitely like to do some more of these. I have definitely enjoyed dedicating a full weekend to just sitting and reading. I've definitely enjoyed all the books I was reading. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I definitely enjoyed filming it and want to do more in future. If you've read any of these books, I'd love to know your thoughts on them. So do be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Or if you've seen any other books that you think I should read and recommend me reading, then definitely let me know. I really enjoyed making this video and I hope you've enjoyed watching it, and I hope you're doing well. We'll see you next time. Bye.